of them doesn't look too good.
I think...
Are you okay?
Who are you?
Corvin sent me. Are you hurt?
Thing in the farthest tunnel, but the scaffolding didn't hold. It collapsed. I think it blocked the drainage shaft. Water started flooding the place as quick as I drink ale. I barely managed to drag us here.
So something's keeping the water inside the tunnels.
What are you thinking?
I've got an idea. Are there more explosives?
Are you crazy?
Yeah, should still be some up top, but you'll need these fuses.
Are you...
I need to find whatever's blocking that drainage shaft and blow it sky high. Hopefully without bringing the mine down on top of me. Almost there. Made it. There's the debris blocking the shaft. If I can reach those explosives up on that track, maybe I can blast through the blockage. Water in my boots. Maybe I can steal the list. Cauldrons could teach me. That's all of them. Gotta find a way out of this room. I need to find a way up to those explosives. I should follow those tracks. See if they lead to the explosives. Let's see where this leads. There's the explosives, up on the track. Just need to get across somehow. electric. Oh, guess that got its attention. That's all of them. Now let's go check on those miners.
She's so dead.
We don't know that. You did it.
I thought you blew yourself up.
Are you two okay from here?
I can get this idiot down. Don't you worry. Thanks, kid.
Better let Corvin know his men are all right. I found the two you mentioned. They're safe, but could probably use a hand. Is that everyone?
It is. I dread to think what would have happened if you hadn't shown up.
I knew we were blasting too much, but the man who staked the claim here, Ulvad, he kept pushing and pushing me. I tried to shield my crew from his constant demands every damn day.
Thank you, Huntress.
Ulvin's name keeps coming up.
I'll see the last two make it out.
It's never good. Sooner or later, someone's gonna have to deal with him. Machine. It must be chain scrape. Drew said I could get my bow upgraded in there. Might be able to tinker with my other gear, too.
Outlander approaching. That's a savior?
Wanna come in,
savior?
Welcome to Chainscrape, Savior.
Open up, guys. Jorv's orders.
Good enough for me.
Best I can do is let you use that workbench.
with a hammer in this state.
Thotnar stayed in their sacred land.
We're on the same side here, Ulvund. What do you want, Ulvund? Some kind of payment?
My dear, if you want that whistle, remove the bristlebacks. Face it.
Hi.
Savior.
We might.
Very well. I shall.
So,
Maybe.
I've heard many tales of your beauty and heroics, my fierce lady warrior. Ulvund Freeholder, at your service. So, what could have dragged you away from the fine silks and wine of Meridian to this smudge of a settlement? Your saviorly attention must be needed elsewhere.
I'm here for the embassy and...
The embassy? Why, by the forge. Ah. Greater gears for greater matters. Guess that means you'll be moving on.
Once I've dealt with any problems around here that need my... saviorly attention.
Ah, the bristlebacks, of course. Got to get rid of them if you want that embassy to take place. Well, best get to it, hey? And off you go.
Not so fast. You don't seem to have a high opinion of the magistrate?
Well, I refuse to play nice to some fancy-robed parchment pusher when my fellow laborers are being bullied, intimidated, and taken advantage of.
How noble of you.
Noble, ha! Born with a hammer in hand, I was. Nobody handed me anything or dropped opportunity into my lap. Everything I've achieved, I've done on my own.
And where is this hammer now?
The, burden of leadership forced me to set it aside. The Carja risk nothing, while demanding that good Osram gamble with their lives out there. Someone had to step up and say no more.
You ordered the works...
Indeed I did. Until the Carja clean... I'm not risk...
Fair deal? You mean your concession decree?
It's not my decree. It's on behalf of all the good Osram laborers of this land who do all the back-breaking work, while only the Carja reap the rewards. All we're asking for is the ability to share in this prosperity for a land worked by the people, for the people.
Right. And just how much would be your share?
Only an amount appropriate to my contributions to this community, of course.
If Chainscrape is on Carja land, shouldn't a Carja be in charge? Who appointed you?
The sensibilities of good Osram folk, of course. You think a Carja can head this whole venture? Ha! The magistrate can barely make the trek from Barren Light without losing a few...
Loudly.
Anyone who has followers has authority. I've been with Chainscrape from the beginning. I mean, I'm practically its founder, and its honest folk know I'm indispensable to its success.
You said you founded Chainscrape. Somehow I doubt that.
Practically founded, I said. I alone saw its potential when it was just a smattering of tents in Barren Light's shadow. I invested in the mine, convinced some friends back home to do the same, and here we are. You could say Chainscrape is what it is thanks to me.
Oh, so you're not just standing around and profiting off everyone else?
Not at all. Sure, I make a little return on my investment here and there, but my main priority, as it was from the beginning, is to look after the well-being of these honest, working Osram.
Where's the whistle?
Right in the middle of town, but with the threat out there, I'm not endangering innocent Osram.
I'm going to clear out the bristlebacks. And when I'm done...
If that's what it takes.
Just be ready to blow the whistle. Better see what that Carja magistrate wanted. I bet he's in the tavern.
Hey, Mildef. Mildef. I
Took some of your stew last time I went into the wilds. Kept me going for a week. Felt like I could have put a strider in a sleeper hold.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Sounds like you're serving up some impressive provisions here.
Not again. You can have the discount too, but you'll have to come back later.
I think you have me confused with someone else.
Ulvin didn't send you?
No.
Oh, my apologies. It's just that his minions won't stop pestering me. Now I've even worn out my special grill. Since I'm in the midst of a crisis, perhaps you could skip to what it is you wanted?
Some of your food?
Of course.
Are Ulvin's people causing you problems?
Oh, yeah. They constantly demand my best, but the equipment I need to make my signature dishes isn't built for batch cooking. And don't get me started on the Ulvin discount they feel so entitled to.
And if you refuse?
I make meals. No trouble.
How did you end up in Chainscrape?
Heard about a new and upcoming town at the edge of the frontier. Where there's a town, there's a tavern. I was in need of work. So I got myself out here and started cooking. Some of these people had never tasted proper boars and berries stew before. Anyway, next thing I knew, people kept coming back. Guess they liked my food. Or the ale.
Your last customer mentioned your cooking really kept him going out where I'm headed. I could use some of that.
I would be happy to oblige, especially since you have the decency to ask pleasantly. But my special groove griddle is no more. Without it, I can't cook any of my signature... I hate to think what'll happen when I'm forced. Can source me a temporary replacement?
What do you need?
For the ingredients. A few pieces of decent wild meat, and let's say a big handful of bitter leaf stems. That'll do. As for the griddle, a corrugated metal panel might suffice, until I can have a new one forged. You'd likely find one in a scrounger pile, if you follow the river to the northeast. Don't worry, I'll clean it first. You'll have no issue finding boars and bitter leaf on your way. Assuming you're as much a hunter-gatherer as your clothing suggests.
Thanks, Mildif. I'll keep an eye out.
So that's what gratitude sounds like.
And don't let anyone push you around, okay?
If you say so.
Already got enough bitter leaf. Just need to hunt for some wild meat and grab a metal panel from the scoundrel pile.
Ah, Savior! Over here! Savior, thank you for taking the time, and my condolences that you had to endure Ulvin's bloviating.
I've dealt with worse. It sounds like he's really trying to put you over the barrel.
The idea that the Karja purposely let bristlebacks into the Daunt, it's completely absurd. But the louder and longer he says it, the more support he'll get for his damned concession decree.
How did the bristlebacks get into the Daunt?
No one knows for sure. The first report of them came from west of the quarry. But unless they have wings I don't know about, I don't see how they could have come over the mountains.
No other way in.
The only way I know about is barren light. Look, if you can get to the bottom of this, I can offer a considerable bounty in return. Help me shut Ulvin up.
What is this concession decree that Ulvin wants?
He wants the Sundom, only the portions, mind you, that produce any value.
Let me guess. Because he stands to profit somehow?
Exactly. With the Daunt under Oseram law, he could secure more investment for their numerous ventures.
He can't get those investments without the concession?
No. Not while there's a chance the Sundom could revoke their access. Hence, why the concession is so important to him. And why blaming the Karja for the bristlebacks, no matter how absurd, works in his favor.
How does blaming the Karja for the bristlebacks help Ulvin get his concession?
Look around. This may be the Sundom, but Chainscrape is all gears and rust and bad ale. claiming that the Karja loosed the bristlebacks in order to intimidate Oseram laborers into obedience. Well, let's just say no one here has forgotten the atrocities of the Mad Sun King. And with the bristlebacks bringing work in the valley to a halt, Ulvund has plenty of time to pick at barely healed wounds.
And if the Oseram refuse to work, unless the concession is signed, you won't have a choice.
Correct. The reconstruction of Barren Light must continue.
How did you get stuck out here?
I asked for the posting, believe it or not. Overseeing the entire valley on behalf of the Sun King? It was an honor. Is an honor, I mean.
But your job would be a lot easier without someone like Ulvund blasting hot air all the time?
Ulvund's not going anywhere. He's been around longer than I have. Even fancies himself the founder of Chainscrape. Now, I'll find a way to live with him. I have to.
You said the bristlebacks were first spotted west of the quarry?
Yes, according to one terrified laborer, said the ground trembled before they came charging down the hillside. He took off and ran all the way here.
Good place to start looking, then.
If you learn the truth, maybe Ulvund will stop blaming the Karja for every problem under the sun, and maybe then he'll actually focus on rebuilding Barren Light instead.
Change your mind about that? Come for that beer after all, eh? Here, sit down. Get a pint in her hand. Wasn't expecting you to swing by.
Since when do I do what's expected?
Ha! There's that spark. Fire and spit.
Fire and spit.
That's a blast from the bellows. Won't fix the forge, but at least I can forget about my troubles for a while.
Like what?
Take your pick. We got bodies to bury from the bristlebacks, the work stoppage, Ulvund grating the gears about his concession decree. Hey! Weapons off the table! Don't listen to me. Nothing a cold brew and knocking some heads together can't fix eventually.
So the bristlebacks in the Daunt. Where did they come from?
That's the thing. No one rightly knows. They just showed up one day, rampaging around the valley like they exploded out of a forge. By briefly for supplies. Ulvund was none too pleased. Won't be able to crank it to his advantage once the bristlebacks are gone.
But how could bristlebacks in the Daunt help Ulvund?
2 words. Concession decree. Since no one knows where the bristlebacks came from, Ulvund has taken to blaming the Karja for him. He's hoping to dig up enough old resentments to get a strike going until the concession's signed. This is just his latest attempt. He's been trying to rile up the workers since the day he rolled into town.
And people actually believe him?
Lots of folks suffered at the hands of the Mad King during the Red Raids. Give him half a reason, they'll blame the Karja for anything.
Damn Karja slavers.
I thought you'd be back in Freeheap.
Well, after the big battle at Meridian, I went back. But realized it was running smooth. Didn't need me. Heard about the rebuilding out at Barren Light. Figured they could use another hammer. Been scraping by ever since.
You could always leave.
And go back east? Nah. I ain't one to leave a lit forge. Besides, someone's gotta be a squeaky wheel for the workers around here.
So about Ulvund.
Around here, everything's about Ulvund.
How'd he end up in charge?
He got here early, like a squirrel smelling a fat nut. He knew rebuilding Barren Light would need stone and timber. So he jangled purses all over Mainspring, getting investors to front claims on anything in the Daunt that might be worth a damn. Thing is, all the bankers back home know that this is Karja land, and the Sun King can revoke those claims at any time. That's why he's desperate for the magistrate to sign off on a concession decree.
This concession decree, what is it exactly? And how would it help Ulvund?
It's pig diddle, that's what.
A writ that would put all Osram claims in the Daunt under Osram law, even though they're on Karja land. It would mean that any existing ore, stone, and timber claims couldn't be revoked by the Karja. No more risk, no more hesitation for investors back in the claim to pour in the shards and expand their business. And since Ulvund has a stake in all those claims, it would make him richer than a scrapper in a junk heap. Not to mention Chainscrape would become an Osram municipality, so he could buy enough votes to call himself an elderman. He's a sly old badger, I'll give him that. Figures if he keeps up the pressure, eventually the magistrate will sign.
Well,
Anytime, Flamehair.
Who wants to play strike? No? Anyone? Come to revel in some strike, sister? Let me set the board.
I was just passing by,
First timer, huh? Don't worry about it. I'll go easy on you. You got any pieces?
No.
Well, aren't you in luck then? I got an extra set, a Tanakh original, straight out of the Forbidden West. Sit. I'll run you through it in a hot... I'll give you something special if you win it on my boards, too. All right, let's start off simple. The Tanakh like to say that Machine Strike is a game of pure strategy. We each get a set of pieces. Each piece and each machine is worth a different number of victory points. And to win the game, you'll need to gain 7. It can be tricky remembering the details of every machine, so we use these notes to keep track of them. You see that number on the top right corner? That there is how many victory points you'll get for destroying that machine. Notes also tell you how far a piece can move, how powerful their attacks are, and of course, their health. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's just play. I own the board, so I get to choose it since this is your first time. Usually you get to choose which pieces to set on the board, but this will do for now. Pick up that machine. And remember, each machine can only move a certain distance. Take a look at your notes if you need a reminder. Easy enough, huh? Now, you get to move. Perfect. We're forging onwards. Let me move my pieces here. And we're back to you. This time, why don't you try attacking one of my pieces? Try with that machine on your right first. Now move the piece. When performed, you'll be testing a machine's combat power is a combination of the terrain your machine is standing on and its own attack power. This board only has grassland terrain, which has no effect on a machine's, and your current machine has 2 points. So in total, your machine's combat power equals 2 points. Since my machine isn't the one attacking, it has 0 points of attack power. And just like your machine, it's not affected by grassland terrain. So right now, the difference in combat power between the two machines is 2 points. Did you get all that? Knew you were a smart. Finish up by... Not pulling any punches, huh? Now grab that second... See how your machine can't move close enough to attack mine? You can make your machine... Try it out. Downside to sprinting is that your machine can no longer attack. Now some players like to take a risk and overcharge their machine in case... Overcharging lets you attack after... But it will damage... So use at your own discretion. Let's try doing that now. That's about it for your turn, then. Now, I'll let you in on a neat trick. That machine of yours, the one closest to me, grab a hold of it. Same as in the wilds. Machines have both arms. You can see them marked on the pieces. Blue, hit them there, and you'll... Now, red shows the machine's weak... Here, let me show you. Rotate that piece so your machine faces mine. Now let that machine... Off the board she goes, and there's your first victory points. You don't have 7 of them yet, so let's keep... Your machine attacked mine, but hasn't moved yet. Go ahead and move down. You've already attacked a machine and moved your piece. But if you overcharge your machine, and by the look of your machine's health, you'd be sacrificed. But sometimes overcharge your machine to attack mine a second time, and I'll show you what I mean. Ain't that a thrill? Now, we both get the victory points our machines are worth. Good news is, since you're the one attacking, you're gonna receive your victory, which means you can reach the coveted 7 victory points first. That's why sometimes now, you'll notice you didn't get, but you did. That means that wasn't so hard. Just remember, you'd be surprised the advantage you can. I know it saved my behind in a game or two.
I'll try.
Oh, these are all my it's a small set to be, but you might even fancy looking out for them strike carvers. Though they'll need the right materials to craft you one. Or you might find them in the wilds if you're lucky. You know, I've lost my fair share of pieces after a night of machine or brew hopping. No need to thank me, always a pleasure. Now, I could even teach you a few more tricks.
Thanks.
I'll see you later, Aloy.
Oi!
Sorry, Red. We're closed.
Took you long enough. Honora, all the way out here?
Help! It's after me! Thank the forge you were here.
Get inside until it's safe.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Looks like some sort of quarry. There. That should be enough wild meat for Moldov. I think that metal tower is giving off the signal. I could have an image from the old world. Looks like some kind of building in front of sheer cliffs. Ruins of a bridge. Got it! Huh. Completing the image unlocked a data file. It looks like these vista points were made by Miriam Technologies. That was Elizabeth's company. Glad I can help.
Try pushing it off.
Mighty thankful to you, Savior.
Just Aloy is fine.
Aaron mentioned you're not one for fancy titles.
You're Vanguard.
Well, here to escort Wadiz's delegate behind to the embassy.
If we can get rid of these bristlebacks.
Captain said to keep an eye on Chainscrape, then these ugly lugs showed up.
Gave the first one a good beating.
But didn't quite have time to roll out of the way when it fell.
Told you it wasn't a good idea to eat that much before heading out.
I should probably get going. You know where I can find Erend?
Captain went chasing after more bristlebacks further west.
Just follow the sound of cursing and you'll find them. Now, if you see any more of these bristlebacks...
I'll make sure to roll out of their way.
Might want to take some of these with you as well. They're handy in a pinch.
Thanks. It's a ruin from the old world. I could find something interesting inside. This whole area is rigged with tripwires.
Hey, you!
It's always something. Hold tight! I'll see what I can do!
Try luring them into the tripwires. Nah, why kill it like that? What do you think the tripwires are for?
That's the last one.
Hello, Red. What a day, what a day. Thank the Forge you. Tripwire's handy, but machine hunting's a youngin's game. Come on over. Let me give thanks proper-like. I see you're a practiced hunter. Took you less time to kill those scroungers than vanguards to kill one bristleback.
So the vanguards came through here?
Yeah, just a bit ago. But then those scroungers showed up to carve the carcass, as they do.
South, after more...
Probably. The vanguard seemed dead set on.
I see.
Hold on there, Red. If you're gonna go, not just any tripcaster. One of my make. Free of charge.
Workmanship looks solid enough.
Yep. Been tweaking the design since I left Chain Scrape. More room to tinker out here and less chance.
Did something happen?
Well, like someone.
Let me guess. Ulvund.
Back when I had a place in town, he took a real interest in my wares. Kept pressing for the Ulvund discount. When I said no, he didn't like that so much. I can't prove it, but that chuff bucket set my workshop on fire. Felt it best to put some distance between us.
Cable car operator told me the bristlebacks just appeared yesterday. Do you know anything about them?
How is old Karn? Back in the day, me and him got into all sorts of trouble. There was this one time that...
Anything about the bristlebacks?
No. Karn said true. They just showed up and ran amok. Lucky for me, I've got you and the Vanguard swooping in time to save my backside.
I should get going. Thanks for the tripcaster.
While you're blasting bristlebacks, I think I'll head down to the hunting grounds. Did you know they have a tripcaster trial? Come by later if you want to try it out.
Maybe. After I get things under control. So Aaron headed south. Should be able to pick up his tracks with my focus. Tracks. Maybe Aaron's and the Vanguard's. Sounds like someone's putting up a fight.
Another one down!
Now this is what I was forged for. No ledgers to fill. No boring mid-afternoon patrols. Just the hammer. Just the fight. Aloy?
Erend! Stay where you are. I'll handle the rest. Those bristlebacks have acid canisters on their backs. It should trigger a chain reaction if I hit them with acid arrows.
Caught me at my best, as usual.
Well, you did the hard part. I just took care of the stragglers. How bad is it?
Who needs ribs? Oh. I'm good. I'm good. Huh. Okay, well, I know you didn't come all the way to the Daunt just to watch me get wrecked. So what's the story?
I need the embassy to happen. Erend, what I did at the Spire... what we did... it didn't end the threat. It just slowed it down. There's still more to do.
Really? Well, that's great. I mean, yeah, not the threat's not over part. That's not so great. But hey, whatever you're up against, your spear, my hammer, just like old times.
Erend, I need the embassy now. I can't wait for you to heal.
Couple of days rest, if that.
Actually, even if you weren't hurt, what I have to do, it's...
Alone.
Erend! I hate to interrupt the romance, but I'm pretty banged up here.
Don't blow your blaze, I'm coming. Oh, this just keeps getting better. Huh. Listen, if you want this we're gonna need this sun priest, Studius Wadis.
Oh, I know him. I'll clear the Valley of Bristleback, one thing.
All right, fine. Now, after the battle at the Spire, you took off. You left without so much as a hand. I mean, people like me, we fought and bled at your side, Aloy, and you just disappear? What kind of person does that?
Aaron, I left when I did, how I did, for a reason. A good one.
Oh, thanks for sharing.
Listen to me. Life on Earth is in danger, and only I can save it.
What are you talking about?
Exactly what I just said. Everything living is going to die unless I fix a piece of technology created by the old ones. And time's running out.
Well, I guess that's the reason, all right. I'm an idiot.
Aaron! By the forge.
I guess that's my cue.
Maybe I should go with you to Barren Light.
No, hey, you're needed elsewhere, obviously. We'll make it without you.
That doesn't sound good.
You'll have to handle that one on your own. We'll only slow you down.
I said we're good, Aloy. Oh, you go on ahead.
What are you standing around for then? Help me off this thing.
Don't make me happy.
What are those Oseram doing out here?
Quick! Gotta scrap him before the Scroungers get him.
Charging right at them.
Another one for the scrap pile. Your help was timely, Nora.
Just get back to Chainscrape before you get yourselves killed.
Not with all this salvage lying about. Come on, crew. Back to it.
And it's full of bristlebacks.
That's it. Fast and scrap.
One less machine.
Look at that thing drop!
Another one down.
Go! It's going down!
One less machine. Incoming. That's it. Smash and scrap. Another one down.
Look at that thing drop!
There. Quarry's safe.
Stranger, come on over here. We got... I don't know what Honora's doing out here, but consider yourself owed. We tried to hold off, but one of them bristlebacks charged us. Next thing you know was a full-fledged fracas.
Is everyone okay?
We lost some good people, but we would have lost the whole quarry without you.
Well, at least it's quiet now.
Your ears ought to be ringing with a quarry at work. But Chain Scrape's whistle ain't blowing, so we're stuck picking up the pieces.
You need the whistle to get back to work?
Me and my crew were just little cogs out here. Can't lift a hammer till Olvin blows that thing. And my people have been through enough.
Olvin holds that much power?
He's got the money and connections to snuff our fires for good. Almost feels like we stood a better chance with the bristlebacks.
What are you and your crew working on?
We're supposed to be working Olvin's claim, digging out stone to show our barren light. But the work stoppage and the bristlebacks cut us short. Never seen those blasted things in the dawn before. Where in Forge Fire did they come from?
I'm not sure. I need to get going.
Thanks to you, that might actually be possible today.
I think I've cleared out most of the bristlebacks. Chainscrape can get back to work now. I'll go give Olvend the good news. Voorhees too. Then maybe this embassy can finally happen. Javad said the bristlebacks were first spotted west of the quarry. I should see if there's anything in the back of the valley. Dead bristleback by the falls. Gotta check it out. Find this in my stash later. Looks like it died on impact. Maybe it charged off the cliff up there. I better keep following the trail up. Of mine. And a lot of broken trees. It's like a stampede went through. Is this where the bristlebacks came from? How? Yes. This cave leads out of the Daunt. The old cart tracks collapsed. Looks recent. Guess I'm not going that way. I'll have to find it. So they did come through here. I have to take them out before I can look around. Okay. Better take a look at where the smoke's coming from. There's a lot of smoke. It looks like the mine runs pretty far back. There's enough blaze here to blast a mountain open. And there's a note on one of the barrels. This note's addressed to Olvend. Looks like this mine was supposed to be shut down. Olvend must have gotten greedy. Kept blasting deeper into the mountain. I should let Javad know. Time to get Ulvin to blow the whistle, then Wadis to Baron Light.
My cup is empty.
Savior, what news do you bring?
Picked up the Bristleback Trail by the quarry. Looks like they stampeded out of a mine at the back of the valley.
The mine? How could a herd of bristlebacks come from there?
I'm not sure, but Ulvin's workers were using explosives to tap the tunnels inside.
For the love of Dawn, I told him it wasn't worth the risk. Those tunnels, they run for miles underground, even beyond the Daunt. No, you don't think...
That Ulvin's blasting opened up a passage from the other side?
Perhaps. Yes, perhaps. If this is true, an inquiry. So thorough, so...
All right, I'll keep looking. I need to go.
Of course.
And 3 planks for our chef Milda!
If I'm gonna find out where the bristlebacks came from, I need to head further west. Another reason to get the embassy going?
Refill's always open.
Making sparks?
So the bristleback...
You're a pig. Blasted things, those bristleback. They just showed up one day, lost some good people. But bless the Bella, he'll drag his feet on getting this place running again. But sooner or later, he'll have to blow that whistle.
But how could bristlebacks and the Daunt help...
2 words. Ulvin has taken to... He's hoping to dig up until the concession's signed. This is just his latest... He's been trying to rile up the worker...
About that, I think the bristlebacks came out of Ulvin's old mine.
Now there's a spark that could light a fire. Can you prove it?
I'm working on it.
By the forge. Grab my ear if you nail it down.
I gotta go, Petra.
That you do. I'll keep the seat warm for you.
Glide in. Scavengers. Other scrap piles. I think I have everything I need for Mildev. Good thing, too. I could use a decent meal.
Ah, there you are. I happen to receive another visit from Ulvin himself. He was pushy, but I stood my ground. And dare I say it, I even got my own back. Yes, I did.
I'm listening.
When I made his meal, I used 3 pinches of salt. Instead of 2.
Each journey begins with a single step, I guess. I think I have everything you asked for.
Then just as you have inspired me, let us see if I can return the favor. Time to cook.
Wow. Mildef, that was inspired.
Next time you want the best provisions, you know where to find me. Your next order of any dish will be on the house.
Thanks.
Funny you should say that. As it happens, hope to see you again. Back for that free meal? Go on, peruse my menu.
It might be a good idea to stock up on some food before I head back out. And see what else Mildef's cooking up.
Still here, I see.
I cleared out all the bris-
Oh, you did?
Now that you've recovered from your shock, time to blow the whistle.
Oh, there, not so fast. I'll have to... Shouldn't take more than a day. Or two.
No. You blow the whistle now.
These are innocent Osram lives we're talking about here. Surely the delay...
Either you do it now, or I will.
Ah, I knew you could do it! Friends, gather round. The savior of Meridian has done it again.
What?
The bristlebacks are defeated. You.
What?
Sound the whistle. Chain Scrape is open for business.
Yay.
And Ulvund has agreed to personally pay every worker their lost wages.
Yeah!
That's more like it!
Yeah! Woo!
Ha-ha!
Yeah! Yeah! Don't you have an embassy to get to?
Yeah, I guess I do. Well, the chain scrape's back to work. Merchants should be open to trade. I should see if they have anything useful before I send Wadis off to Barren Light.
That's not.
Ulvund must be cool.
The way to Barren Light is clear. Get moving.
You're not errand vanguardsman. I will move only when the captain
When
says...
I've cleared out all the bristlebacks, which I have. Captain's orders.
So they're okay?
Banged up, but breathing. And waiting up ahead for you.
But I was supposed to have 3 escorts.
I'm off to Barren Light, Wadis. Like Aloy said, Captain's orders. You can stay here.
Abandoned to the riffraff? I think not.
Guess you're coming with me then. See you there, Aloy.
Well, now that that's done, the embassy can finally get underway. If I can get through it, I'll be able to track down Silence. Hades. Maybe even a Gaia backup. Guess I could head straight for Barren Light.
Remedy for all...
Or poke around the Daunt some more first.
Come on, where's your sense of adventure?
How many times? I'm sorry, I'll be right.
Okay,
I'm not. So what? Not if it blows you.
So,
Actually,
But you're just nuts! I am with a customer!
I'm not a customer.
I got it! Triple the powder. It'll blow a Strider sky high. Ba-boom. One-shot kill. Guaranteed.
Maybe I am.
Then you are in the right... How would you like to be the proud owner of the world's first machine-enhanced... Explosive, done in one, machine wrecking. Yet perfectly safe, javelin thrower.
Are you two from around here?
Nah, the claim. Dad sent us out west in search of some unknown opportunity. Said we'll know it when we see it.
Sounds like you had other ideas.
Let's just say that opening another trading post for my parents isn't how I want to make my mark in this world. I imagine traveling alone must be nice.
So she's your partner?
My apprentice and my sister. She's why we're out here. There was an incident. Another incident.
Involving explosives?
Ba-boom! And Dad's precious homebrew. He shipped us out the next day.
Huh. Tell me more about this.
Saw a scroll when I was a kid by some Karja scholar who wandered out west. Had a scary drawing of a Tenakth warrior hunting with a kind... Effective? Yes. Basic? Undoubtedly. But coming out and I'm on the brink of vast... Whereas I will perfect it. I can use machine parts to enhance the user's throw, increase the projectile's velocity. Well, Boomer here is adamant that enhancing the projectile is better. Namely with explosive tips. Boomsticks.
Why not both?
That could work. There's one small snag. I need the parts to make the first working model. Well, for starters, I'll need charger horns. Intact. Yeah, that. Just be sure to shoot them off before the machine goes down. Otherwise, they break. But the real innovation, keep it to yourself, is a fang horn rib.
There's a mean one east of here. Blow it sky high.
Boomer! You get him for me. It's yours. My treat.
You have a deal.
Aloy. Another round here? Heard you've been busy. As for me, I'm gonna need a few more of these before I get back to the forge.
Is there something on your mind?
Well, things aren't as bad since you got this, but we still got Olvin. If you don't put that down, I'll come over there and show you how that game ends. Anyway, right now, I'm just worried about those refugees out from Sunfall. To come all this way and do—
Shadow Karja refugees. What are they doing in the Daunt?
Looking for a new home, I gather. They're camped out by an old trailhead, southwest, and therein lies the problem. A Stormbird crashed up on the cliffs last week, and Talon Cleanbrokers had his eye on the salvage ever since. But the refugees have barred entrance. Mustn't interrupt their sun-scorched ritual. Something about finding a twilight path.
Huh. Never heard them talk about that before.
Yeah, well, these particular Shadow Karja are an odd bunch. But overall, they're peaceful folk. Not that it matters to Talon. He'll crack some heads to get to that salvage. Maybe you could swing by, convince him to set up camp somewhere else?
So the bristleback...
You're a pig. Blasted, they just lost some good, but that too old until this is, he's been about...
No, I'm working on...
By the forge,